Hey, it's year one, day 30, 3-0. I've got all of the structure for the decking basically done. I also installed some pretty cool plates on the corners, which I hope will just add a little more structure to the corners, because I don't know, I don't feel super secure about just like a couple bolts holding them in on the sides. Another thing I did, kind of hard to see because there's boards in the way, but I installed a bracket. This is the very back of it. Just the beam that's going to be holding the wall it had a gap off of the center beam that's supposed to be like the structural support. So I was trying to find like some metal shims or something, and I just decided I found this thing called a stud shoe, I think it's called, and it's just adding more metal to close that gap for me, so that when the weight does get put on it, it's not so much of a gap to cover. So between that and then the metal bracket that already slides in there, that closed most of the gap. So there's not really a lot for the wood to flex before it starts getting support. Let's see, fuck ups, things I messed up. One thing I messed up I think is kind of important, but like not the end of the world. When I put all the joists in, the only thing I did that's holding it in is this hanger, the joist hanger, which is appropriate. But the reason why that's a problem is I feel like I should have put a screw in on the sides before I did the joist hanger to close the gap, this gap between the wood, because if a screw had been coming in from the back here, it would be pulling these together. So when I put the joist hanger in, there's not really a gap. And on a few of the studs, the gap is greater than 1/8 of an inch, which is the I don't know if I want to say code, or like the manufacturer specifications for the hanger is like it shouldn't be more than 1/8. And you know that because there's a viewport, and basically if you can't see the wood entirely in that viewport, then your gap is greater than 1/8 of an inch. And there's a couple of them where it is like that. So that was one mess up. One thing I did do correct this go around is on the joist hangers. So these nails on the sides that are holding the joist in place, in the past I was just running them this way, and what you're supposed to do is run them a diagonal into the other piece of wood going across, and that has a special name. It's like a cross something, and if you only go through the one piece of wood horizontal, like just the joist only, you actually get half the strength out of the hanger than if you do it the other way. So that's one thing I did better this time that I didn't do on the other buildings. Obviously I messed up the whole center beam thing. I already covered that. I'm not going to cover that again. Oh, one other thing I did mess up, which was kind of annoying, and it's not like well fixed, but it's kind of okay fixed, is on some of these joists, the wood was higher up on the end than the frame, and I wanted to basically shave it down so it's a little more level, so that when I put the subfloor on top, it'll lay flat and there won't be like a big gap. But I didn't really have a good tool to shave it down, and so it's kind of janky, and but I think it's like better than it was, so I'm kind of okay with it. One question I'm a little concerned about, I'm gonna put a construction adhesive that's exterior rated on the joist before I put the wood on, and the adhesive says the wood's supposed to be dry in order for the adhesion to work, but like we have nonstop rain pretty much for the next, it's been a week and probably another week or two. So I'm curious how important that is. If it's better to just be like, okay, it's a little wet, no big deal. The adhesion's not going to be great, but the main function of the adhesive isn't really to glue. It's to create the like soundproofing. So when you step on it, there's not, gaps being creaking and cracking every time you step on the floor. So I'm wondering if I should just press on anyways and do the glue, get the boards on, and be cool with it, or if I really should wait for it to dry out quite a bit, and then do it when it's dry and get a proper adhesion. So I'm gonna phone a friend about it. I'm gonna talk to my cousin who's been through a lot of construction stuff, and he'll probably give me some good advice. And if he doesn't, then he's probably gonna watch this and I'll just say, screw you, man. Why didn't you give me better advice? But if you give me good advice, then I love you. Good cousin. You're awesome. So that covers all my bases. But everything else is fine. Puppy's fine. He's doing all right. Apparently today his thing is kicking me in the leg, so that's cool. Except it's not. And I think that's out. That's it. Peace out. Well, peace in the Middle East, but you know, that's a wish, whatever.